Welcome to the adventure of Scripture of the Day, Bible Talk. Today we're in James still, which is what we've been on for a couple of days now. James 1, verse 13 through 15. Let no one say when he is tempted, I am being tempted by God. For temptation does not originate from God, but from our own flaws. For God cannot be tempted by what is evil. He himself tempts no one. But each one is tempted when he is dragged away, enticed, and baited to commit by his own worldly desire, lust, and passion. Then when the illicit desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin. When sin has run its course, it gives birth to death. I love how the scriptures all work together to create this picture of who God is, who God has created us to be, how we are to become everything that he's created and called us to be. Our thoughts are so important to that. Here he's saying that he's not tempting us. It can be sometimes other things, but often it's just our own minds, our own thoughts that begin to tempt us. A thought comes into our minds and it gets nurtured and grows, and it becomes something that leads us to sin because of our own passion, our own lust, and not putting that forth to God, for God to help us to give wisdom and reform our thoughts. In Romans 12:2, it says we're to be transformed by the renewing of our minds. And in 2 Corinthians 10:5, it talks about a way to do that, which is taking our thoughts captive and reworking them. So sometimes we've made decisions in our lives based on things that happened to us when we're young. So we experience something and then make decisions that we think are helpful, or they come out of this childish way of thinking and viewing the world, and are not something that helps us. It leads us into sin. And then once we have formed those thoughts and we believe them, we need to double down in order to not feel like we were foolish or dumb, not to live in shame. So we double down that this is the right thing to do, have all of the reasons why it was the right thing to do, when really we needed to submit our thoughts to God, take them captive, submit them, have them transformed by the renewing of our minds. All of this leads to death, not necessarily physical death, because physical death is going to happen to everyone, whether we sin or not, but a spiritual death, an emotional death, kind of a mental death, a relational death, because when we're hurting those around us, but we're also hurting ourselves because it's missing the mark. Missing that mark is going to hurt everyone. So I work very hard to recognize